Hiya, come on in and get cozy. I hope everyone's staying blessed and protected. I hope everyone is going to have an absolutely thrilling Thursday. We're nearly at the end of the week, but I'm not down for all these days and times and that. It's just, to me, it's just another day. It's a day. But we're living by somebody else's timeline. But now, I think this is an ancestors reading. I want to see what the ancestors' messages are, because I really feel it. Like, I showed that picture on my post the other day with these faces in the mountains, unmistakable because everybody could see them. There's a word that they call it when you see faces in things, but we all seen it. So but this mountain now has come down. I just feel like it's prophecies are unfolding right before our eyes. And you know something? Like people say, oh, the ancestors have always been here, but I feel they did something. Something happened a couple of years ago. It could be like 3 years ago, I don't know. But something happened, and it was all over TikTok and everywhere. There was people saying that they were seeing things coming down from the sky. I'm even getting goosebumps talking about it. It's our ancestors are back. They've come to reclaim the earth, because if they're trying to get away with this new world order, it's like no. No. Most High says no. Watch what I am about to do. I am going to do. It's like something that you would not, even though you see it, you're not going to be able to believe it with your own eyes. He says the mountains will be brought low. The mountains are being brought low. There's everything. There's the honestly, I'm getting goosebumps. I've even bought my Nostradamus deck. Ooh, what's this? The Emperor. Ooh, Spirit. It's like this guy here is speaking to somebody. They're listening to him intently. It's like a prophecy is unfolding. This prophecy is unfolding right before our eyes. We are walking through the revelation. And it's really deep and it's really intense. And I feel like this is how everybody's been activated. How many people have been activated? There's so many out there. There's many false prophets, and you will be able to tell the difference, because all they will be preaching is lies. Anything that they predict will not come true. But the true messengers, they'll be coming with the truth, and there's not that many. There's the main two messengers that Spirit says. There's two messengers out there, and then there's also the helpers. But we're gonna know, and I feel like something really deep, really big is happening, and it says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will uphold you with my right hand." But the Emperor's here, and there's something big going down, and it's like the ones who have fear are the ones who are meant to. I feel like those who truly belong to the Most High, the ones whose hearts are so pure, have got nothing to worry about. He says, in a blink of an eye, we'll all be changed. And it talks about the 3 days of darkness in the Bible. So maybe we don't know. Imagine the world goes dark for 3 days, and when it comes light again, all the bad is gone. It's all disappeared. It says all the churches are going to crumble. If you've read the Bible and you know how to read the Bible, not just like a bloody. It is a bit of a storybook. It is. I once called it an oracle, and the Most I got really upset with me and said, "It is not an oracle." So it's not an oracle. We are the oracle. We're the oracles. The Bible's not an oracle. It's, depending how you use it. Even, was it Martin Luther King? He said it has a voice. It has hands, it reaches out and, grabs hold of me. And that's how I felt about the Bible as well. It spoke to me directly, like told me things that no one else could know, And I used to tell people, and it's like, wow, you said there was going to be an earthquake, and there was an earthquake, I know side I'm on. But this is an ancestor's message, and we're going to get into it and see what is going to come out. So whatever it is, it may resonate, but I feel something big, something deep, something profound. Dear Heavenly Spirit of the Most High, heavenly angels, archangels, spirit guides, ancestors of our highest good, we call upon you, Heavenly Spirit, to protect our chakras from the root to the crown. We call upon you, Heavenly Spirit, to protect our energy as we channel this message. And we call upon you, Heavenly Spirit. Look, I've got this. Do you want to come up, astronomer? And we call upon you, Heavenly Spirit, to block out all and any negative or evil interference. And we call upon you, Heavenly Spirit, to show the collective exactly what they need to see right now. The message from the ancestors. Thank you. We love you. The Four of Spheres. Now I need to check these, what they actual mean, because, I've never used this deck. Well, I have, personally, but not myself. I've not used it in a reading. It says great confusion about the undertaking, a loss of generations, and uncounted treasure. So this card actually represents King Midas, the king who everything he touched turned to gold. But his luck changed after he became greedy and possessive. When he accidentally touched his daughter, she turned into gold, a golden statue. So that it's like this is a lesson to be learned that goes all the way back through human history. We should examine our attitude to wealth and possessions to ensure they don't bind us to the earth. I think that was confirmation from Sheba. This interpretation of this card is about generosity, the giving of gifts to all. There's a deeper meaning suggesting that you may be generous in order to make others like you, that in reality you hang on to wealth only appearing to give it away. In upright, it represents kindness, generosity, gifts, offering investments, a bonus and success in business. This might be something to do with that windfall dream that I had. Oh, I've got the moon here. So a gift, I feel like this is a gift given in secret. The best gifts are the ones that you give in secret. Because you look on the social media now, people are like, going up to homeless people and videoing it, get them giving something. Do you think the Most High is going to reward you for that? No. The gifts given in secret are the best gifts. You don't have to tell everybody about it. This is what I'm feeling from this. Yeah, it's a gift. I feel like it is. Just give somebody something and don't tell anyone. That's what I'm feeling. Right, I want to just have a look what I'm just going to check. Oh, whoa. What the meanings are of the, because it will tell me somewhere. Right, the stars are swords, the suns are wands, the moons are cups, and the spheres are pentacles. So that's where we're at. The spheres are pentacles, so that's a pentacle. You know, this is a 6 of pentacles. This is like things being made fair, you know, distributing things fairly, you know, and a lot of people don't. You know, I think a lot of people was watching that woman in America stand up and give a speech, yeah. But all she did was make the rich richer and the poor poor. It didn't. None of it made sense. She sounded like she was getting somewhere, but she actually didn't. Oh, the Three of Suns. This looks like a fire here. Look, there's a fire, and look at all the fires we've been having as well. We've been having so many fires. I feel like something's being made fair here. Something is being made fair. Prophetess. Oh, spirit. And the spirit and the angels. Ancestors. Oh, I think that looks like justice to me, but it's not. It's the Two of Stars, and we've got the Three of Stars. It looks like Libra to me. Libra energy. It even said it looks like Libra up there, but it's got an X. But Libra energy. The 3 and the 2 of Stars. And their swords. Ooh. This is about, I'm sure this is like about religious figures as well. This is concerning religious figures. This is sorrow, departure, separation. This is the card of disharmony. Sorrowful events, sadness and breaking apart. Its presence alone is often difficult to take, but it's not, because it's with the Two of Swords. It also can represent a breakdown or an end of a relationship. Events conspire to move you away from a point of rest into a maelstrom of harsh water. You can only work through this and trust that love or courage will help you re-establish a balanced state of being. Sorrow, departure, separation, aversion, loss, tears, and unrequited love. The Three of Swords here. No, I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to put the major, court cards will go up there. But now the two of Stars. It says this is for a balance, looking for a balanced outcome here. It represents a search for a balanced outcome, and it is to do with Libra. It's like blind justice. It even relates to the King Solomon, biblical King Solomon, whose dispensation of justice was so famous that it became a byword. 2 women, one young, one old, represent the 2 faces of justice. Associated with justice, the Two of Stars is about seeking balance and harmony, of reconciling 2 sometimes opposing forces that may otherwise pull you in 2 directions at once. You may need to struggle to find the fulcrum of harmony, but the resulting effort rewards you with greater certainty. You may be able to draw support from a stable source. Balance, harmony, friendship, and attachment. But I feel like because this is a Three of Swords, this is a breaking apart of something. This is a leaving something behind. And I feel, it could have been an unbalanced relationship. It could even mean a job or something like that. But it's a departure of something that was causing an imbalance. But the balance is here with the Two of Stars. The balance is here. We've got the Fool here. This is, a brand new beginning. A brand new beginning. It's like leaving the old behind. Becoming balanced for this new beginning. Yeah, I think it's the end. Better just to the beginning. Heavenly Spirit, thank you. Ooh, fortitude. It's a strength card, so I feel like this is this represents Hercules. And Samson as well. Remember Samson? And also Apollo. This can also mean like the taming of male energies by the feminine. So this could have been like an imbalance of, masculine energy, where the yin has to come in. I'm sure we got yin in a reading the other day. That yin, there's too much. This is what we're in. We're in the chaos at the minute. If you've ever watched Bobby Emmett, he explains it so good. He's so honestly absolutely amazing guy. But he explains that we're in chaos at the minute because the masculine energy is too big. When we was in the goddess realm where it was very feminine, everything was calm, peaceful. Now I think this is a balance. This is a balancing out. This is why this is here. This is why the balancing is here. There has to be a balancing of feminine energy. It's too much masculine. You look at the world, it goes, who runs the run? Who rules the world? Girls, girls. No, they don't. It's actually, we're in a male dominated world. There's too many men. There's too many men and making all the rules when they haven't really got a clue. Oh, I could write a song about that. It's a strength of feeling, of strength of character, even moral strength. It says it represents the strength to keep going when everything looks hopeless. But unlike the chariot, it has less to do with the ego than with physical power. As such, it's been described as the warrior card, but this limits its scope. Strength of will also transcends the bounds of human ability and all the countless tales of heroic achievement. Not always in warfare, but often in exploration, sports and creativity are very much a part of this card's meaning. It indicates a strong resource of strength across the board. You may also be required to tame the forces within you that seek to meet every opposition in a combative way. Strength held in check remains a reserve which you can tap into. It doesn't require you to attack every problem at full stretch. Sometimes you may need to turn to a powerful friend or a guide to help usher in the moment of truth which must be faced without fear. This is strength, force, courage, power, ability, authority, and commanding presence. And I feel that this could be somebody, drawing on the force of a friend, like two are stronger than one, that kind of that feeling. Ooh, look at, I can't believe what it says here. It says, the female bastard to so high a place ascends, the late return will make the sad ones glad. Now, we all knew what they called a bastard was an illegitimate child. So this is a female, illegitimate child. So this is a child born out of wedlock. This is a female. Her late return will make the sad ones glad. So this is a female who didn't have parents were born. She was born out of wedlock. We hear so many stories about all these males and that, but what about the females? I was showing my grandson the Mother Shipton. The Mother Shipton cave. It's like she reminds me a bit. She did prophecies in rhymes as well. She made it rhyme. But I feel like there's something coming out. There's some prophecies of old that are coming true, and there's a female who's coming back. This is an ancestor, and she was born to parents who were out of wedlock. That's what I'm just interpreting from this. Heavenly Spirit, Heavenly Angels, ancestors, what message do we have for the collective? Thank you, love you. Oh, this is a tower. This is a tower. You see, things has to be You see, there has to be a destruction before the old has to be brought down. This is like a dismantling of something, of whatever this is. This Three of Swords. There's a dismantling here. There's something going on. Yeah, the old has to be brought down to start again, to be anew. The Tower. Oh, I opened it right on that page. It's also known as the House of God, the lightning struck tower, the hospital, or the thunderbolt. It is one of the oldest and most consistently reproduced images in tarot. The origins of the image can be traced to the Middle Ages, where there are numerous references to towers broken down by God's lightning. Oh, it reminds me of Twin Towers then. Oh, sometimes followed by scenes depicting the expulsion of human beings from a paradisal realm. It also reflects the fascination of the medieval world with the story of the Tower of Babel. Do you know, I've had dreams where I was in medieval times, really, and I was like a market trader, but I was an helper. Like, I helped people. I can remember I was helping them with money and things like that. It was so strange, but I know I've lived in them times, because why would I even dream it? It's here. It says, in a wider sense, this card has positive implications. The breaking down of old and outworn structures may seem terrifying, but can give way to restoration and restructuring. It is important that we don't always assume the worst, but rather seek beyond the immediate darker events to a place where calmer seas awaits us. That's like this mountain that's falling down. People are like, oh, it's devastating, it's devastating. Yeah, it is, because people have had to leave the home. But why would you build your home at the bottom there anyway? Why would you? It's a lesson to where not to live, where not to build. And my heart does go out to the people who've lost all their homes and their possessions. But it's a chance to start somewhere else again, more on solid ground. Don't live at the bottom of a mountain, especially one that's covered in glaciers. It's like a warning. It says it's actually a destruction of evil rather than good. So this is the destruction of evil, and this is why people don't need to be afraid, because evil is being destructed. It's like the Most High is, whatever happens on this earth is for the highest good. There's a dismantling going on. These people are not going to take over the earth, and we're not going to be eating bugs, and we're not going to have this. If we do have a cashless society, it's only because we might go back to the way it was at the beginning and trade. Because look what money's done to people. The same money is the root of all evil, because it's made people do some evil things, the things that people do for money. They are willing to kill people, rob, lie, cheat, everything, all in the namesake of money. Why would you want any more than what you need? You don't need fancy cars. You don't need all these Rolex watches. What good is it going to do? Oh, what, you want to show off to somebody else that you've got something that they haven't? It's within. It's within. You need to be building upon your character of who you are as a person. I'd rather be poor and happy than rich and sad. I would. But it's not about the money. And I believe in sharing is caring. I think when you hold on to something, it shows your lack of trust in the Most High. It says here, that it says old. It's something that's been broken down. It says sometimes we must face painful and seemingly destructive events in order for the path to be cleared, and the old, no longer required aspects of our lives broken down in order to follow fresh growth. But this is what it is. This is what happened to me as well. It's like my life was completely destroyed, but then it was all made new again. I mean, literally brand new. So sometimes when you feel like you're going through the worst, even homelessness, because I was homeless living in a tent, sometimes you have to go through that. And then, you don't worry, there's a way out, you know. If something's gets taken away, it will always be replaced by something better. It's a positive force of energy, creativity. It says outworn ideas, objects or structures, and of cleansing by fire. It says the other ancient title for this card is the hospital. A hospital can indeed be seen as a fearful place, yet it is also a place where healing results, sometimes after painful procedures. So somebody could have been in hospital to get better. Do you know what I mean? Take it as it resonates. But this is a sudden, shocking change, clearing the path, the breaking down of old structures, cleansing energy, reassessment, catharsis, and new breath. Yeah, so I feel like sometimes we can be holding on as well to the old so much, yeah, that you don't realise that, it's a door that's closing. The door is closing. Let the door close. Get your foot out the door and allow for the new way, It's going in a new direction, This is for someone, and it could be in hospital, but I'm not, it's up to you. And it says here, look, it even says about the Twin Towers. Prophetic reference, the attack on the Twin Towers in New York on the 11th of September 2001, the hubris of capitalism brought into contact with its own transience. So, yeah, maybe it had to come down because that was the World Trade Center, where a lot of corruption was actually going on. And I know a lot of people lost their lives here in the physical, not the spiritual. We are spirit, If we only knew what death was really, we would see the light more clearly. I wrote a poem about that somewhere. Oh, I just split it on the master here. And I feel like this is a king. This is a king of the moon. Let me see. Excuse me. I've just took my mullein. It clears yet. Really good for your lungs. Yeah, the master of the moon. It says the augur and the chief will be put forth their hands to the king. From the king will come a peaceful emperor. What did I say? That there was an emperor right at the beginning. From the king there will come a peaceful emperor. It says the master of moons is a generous, talented, compassionate, and a brilliant man, larger than life and overwhelmingly filled with confidence. He may be an artist, a banker, a priest, or a doctor whom one trusts with one's life. At a basic level, he represents the kind of person who inspires others, offering sympathy and generosity to all. As the head of a family, he will always offer nurture and care, but maybe possibly be unwilling or unable to share emotional bonds. Is the moon? I have to see what the moon is now. I forgot again what they mean. The moon is cups. Usually that is an emotional person. Honesty, integrity, kindness, equality, a scientist or an artist. So there's someone out there, I feel like, but it says a child of the king. And I don't, when I'm looking at King Charles, I really don't. I feel like William is just like him. I really do. Oh, I just split it on justice. Spirit. Yeah, I kind of get this look. It's like got this flower. It's like, yeah, peace. Yeah, I'm bringing some flowers, but yeah, I've also got the scythe. Yeah, this is my cutlass. That's what I've got. That I've got the actual cutlass on my arm. I'm bringing my scythe with me, yeah. I'll make peace with you, but I'll also chop you. I kind of get this, and seeing that justice there as well. I mean, this looks like a dower even. It's Venus. Something's happening. The old is crumbling to make way for the new. And I know the Most High is very subtle as well, but also can be very like in your face. It's like people are waiting for signs and miracles. Yeah, they're happening all around us. So what it's like, yeah, you need to be prepared. This guy who says about the go bag yesterday, I thought, because I was missing one thing and I found it, and I was like, yeah, to go in my go bag. I need to find it again. It's like all it is it's a bracelet. I don't know where to put it. It's a bracelet, and it's got like a cord. It's got a whistle. It's got a flint. It's got a little knife. Excuse me. Confirmation. Yeah, and I've got a tool that's got every single thing on it. It's got an axe. It's got an hammer. It's got a screwdriver. It's got a knife. It's got scissors. It's got everything. It's just like so many things. That we might need. Oh, this is a piece. Another piece here. So we've got the 6 of stars. I'm sure this is swords in it. Did I say stars or swords? Yes, that's 6 of Swords, which is leaving away, going away to peaceful place, And I'm seeing the sign of Taurus as well here. And we've got the 4 of Spheres, 4 of Pentacles, the 6 of Stars. What's the matter? What are you doing? Sorry about that. I have to let me out and check on my grandson. Oh, yeah, it says here. Oh, when I've just read this, it says between 2 rivers, one will be trapped. Barrels and casks will be joined to pass beyond. That is a prophecy. Between 2 rivers, one will be trapped. So if anybody lives between 2 rivers, you need to get out. That's a warning. This is a card all about journeying, whether away from or towards an event, depending on the cards which flank it in a reading. The planet Mercury has an astrological influence in suggesting that a message will arrive which may in turn lead to a journey. Mercury, the messenger of the gods, wore winged sandals that enabled him to travel great distances at high speed. The traditional image depicts a figure seated in a boat. Here we see the dove carrying an olive branch, flying from or towards the ark, which all representatives of every species in the whole of creation. So whoever lives in between 2 rivers is going to be trapped. So where's the 2 rivers next to each other? That's the question. There are so many reasons why we might undertake a journey. It may be to another country, or simply to a new idea or a place of work. Alternatively, it can refer to the journey of the spirit beyond life. The most important theme of this card, however, is the indication of a move away from a stale or a worn-out ideas or situations towards a more satisfactory place. This is a journey, a travel, a holiday, a messenger trying to overcome negativity. And then we've got the 4 of Spheres. Great confusion about the undertaking, loss of generations and uncounted treasure. That did come out right at the beginning, wasn't it? That was the Midas touch. Being kind. Yeah, generous. So there's something here about something has to break down here to make way for something new. So if something is happening in somebody's life, yeah, And you think, oh my God, this is so, I can't cope with this. This is so bad. You could lose your home. You could lose, you could have a breakup in a relationship. There could be something, even an eviction, anything like that. But Spirit's like, no, it's making it's something about something being a success here. Success in business, even. It could be like leaving a job to start a business, It could be in anything. You take it as it resonates with you. But that Two Rivers seems a bit significant. I should use this big deck more, but I feel like it was waiting for this day. I feel like I have been called to this on this day to bring this out here. Now this looks very similar to that card. Look, like it's got the same window. Now I don't know if they all have. I don't know, but that looks very similar. This is a 5 of spheres, so we've got the 4 and the 5. I feel like these should be together here because it's the 4 moving into the 5. It's it says that sublime form, invisible to the naked eye, will be veiled by obsessive thoughts. This card has a number of associations that seem to have been present since the earliest time. It says the church was supposed to take in those who were homeless and poor, but often turned them away. Ooh. This is about people turning on it against each other. Yeah, so you could be in need. This is for like somebody who's in need, yeah. But the people that you thought would help you don't. It's usually the case, isn't it? It's usually get offered help by the hand of a stranger, you know. And it's the dove of peace again. So there's this dove of peace is here. It's like, it says here, it says off, originally the suit of pentacles was associated with money, or in this case, lack of it. So I feel like somebody, it says that it represents a struggle to survive and to create a good life. It can also, it's a struggle to survive, loss, toil, stern determination, honesty, penury, poor in spirit, and lack of self-love. So it could be just that. It could be something like, that someone didn't give themselves the love that they deserved yourself, you know? We've got an apprentice here. The apprentice is the apprentice. Why am I seeing it like this? What are you doing? I had to pause it there because Mimi wanted to get behind me again. So I'm sat on back on edge of my seat. We've got the apprentice here, and the apprentice of spheres is it's a sword again. It's like the page of swords in a normal tarot deck. It's a perpetual student devoted to learning and fiercely intelligent. And it says here, he remains seated on the square stone facing south, set in the window. It says here, he is tending the tree of wisdom and knowledge, copying what he's learned onto a scroll that grows from its branches. So this could be someone who's writing things down, because the books need to be rewritten. Let's face it, the truth about what we've experienced in this here now place needs to be written down for future generations. Things get hidden, and it's like Spirit says, there's nothing new on this earth. History repeats itself until it learns its lessons. It says that there's 12 parts to this world, and we're going for this is the 11th part we're going through. This is the 11th time, so there's another time to go through. There's another lesson. It's like that sifting, of the flour, where it gets shaken and only the lumps remain. The fine flour remains and the lumps get thrown away. It says here, the dedication and loyalty of the apprentice is a central aspect of their function. An excellent negotiator, someone who's always ready to listen and learn. It can be a student, apprentice, disciple, concentration, speculator, trader, negotiator. The cardinal, the stars. Got swords again. It says the insane rage of furious strife will cause dining brothers to flash their blades. Oh, this is saying that there's going to be people who are dining together. It could even be these, these leaders could be having a meal together. Did you not see where the one where Trump was having dinner with that guy, and it was and they poured that guy's drink in front of him, and they tried to give Trump a drink, and he just put it down. And he was like, "Looks," and he was like, "No, I'm not drinking that." It says here something about secret power here. Something about an hidden power, secret power. This suggests the power of the papal courts over the rulers of the West. The knight is a good person to have on your side in a tight spot, yet he can be ruthless and determined and knows no boundaries. His strength is great, but he's often accompanied by a wildness and a lack of discipline that can make him seem out of control. There is also a sense of innocence about him. These qualities may be present in the issue you are concerned with and apply just as much to your own actions. Don't get too carried away in your eagerness to win. Bravery, skill, strength, heroic action. Yeah, sometimes I feel like he said it's something about secret power, overwhelming arrogance, and vaunting ambition. Though born of a power family, his ambition drove him to rise to a position of authority. So this could be in regards of someone who was born in a poor family, who rises to a position of authority. Yeah, I just split it on the magician here, yeah. And to me, this looks like Oriental, like the like with the dragon, but with a man's head on it. Most of these are like creatures with heads on, and I believe in them. When the two, do you not ever remember that advert? I think it was a yogurt advert or something like that, and it was showing you horses with human heads. I can't remember I'm sure it was for some yogurt or something like that. But I thought, they're putting it in front of our faces, and people do not know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then you can learn. If you're willing to be taught, that is, because a lot of people are so stubborn and so unwilling to change their mindset and their belief system. The hermit, yeah, taking a deeper look here. The hermit, is taking a look into something deeper. Taking a deeper look. Oh, it says here that it was actually originally, it says the Hermit of the Tarot is no ordinary character, as his alternative names of the Old Man and the Devourer of Things indicate. So I'm getting this is an older person, a devourer. And it says that the earliest tarot images identify him with a figure of time, sometimes the Roman god Saturn who preceded him. It said this completely changes the seemingly benign figure of the hermit into a far more serious proposition, since time is generally seen as a great enemy of humanity, the one who rolls up life and in the end takes it away. He is a figure demanding our attention. Behind him, it's possible that another figure hides another of the cardinal virtues mentioned for the Justice card. Here it is Prudence, whose ability to take a more considered account of events enables her to temper the passage of time to a degree. Excuse me. It talks about the serpent Ouroboros from the Gnostic belief. It's something about the endless cyclicity of time. A prudent act was one that took into account the past and future as well as the present, enabling the seeker to reach a balanced state of being. The hermit, therefore, is one who contemplates the passage of events in order to find a true meaning. This balanced contemplation of passage of time also suggests prophecy. So we may imagine that the hermit is something of a self-portrait of Nostradamus. It said the hermit is a card that suggests not only the deep contemplation of events, but also the acknowledgement of the passage of time and the way this impacts upon the issue under consideration. Such acknowledgement allows the seeker to detach from the issue, enabling a clearer view of the circumstances that have brought the problem into being. Sometimes this card in a reading suggests the presence of a teacher or a guide who shows us how to reach a point of stillness that enables us to see more clearly what action to take. For this reason, the hermit also is seen representing transition, self-awareness, the acknowledgement of the real place we have reached in our journey through life. Always, almost always triggers the change. From the moment the pendulum swings, reaches a point of rest, the only thing that can follow is motion. This card suggests movement away from stasis, a triumphant return to a path abandoned, a deepening of awareness of the goals of life. To reach this, we may have to enter a period of withdrawal, but it is important to keep a finger on the pulse of life in case we become caught in the circle of time and lose our way. This is the darker side of the card, which when it appears, it's not reversed, so it doesn't reverse. A seeker of truth, time, honesty, prudent awareness, caution, prophecy, detachment, freedom of action, and maturity. Two revolutions made by the evil sickle wielder, Saturn, changes both kingdoms and their dispensations. And the reference is the French and Russian Revolution, so I feel like we are coming up to a revolution. Yes, what did they say? The revolution will not be televised. Get ready. Yeah, get your go bag. Look, there's new, beginning something new. I feel like something old is going to break up. There's so many sheep. It's like in the Bible, it's like, oh, my sheep will follow me. Come on, are you a sheep? Are we sheep? Bah, you, sheep be true. Look, we got the deaf as well. The fool and the deaf. It's over. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, look at that mountain as well with this thing on the top of the mountain. Something. Oh, this is a sign, This is a sign. There's something, we've got to make way for the new. What you need to do is you need seeds. Because obviously without seeds, you've got no growth. They're trying to take all the seeds out of the fruit. Where do you get fruit that's now got seeds? We can't get a grape with seeds. Where do you find grapes with seeds? Because they're not where I see. Bananas, seeds gone. Where's all the seeds? to reproduce, because everything reproduces by itself, you know. But I know that I've planted potatoes, yeah, and you should see what I've got. I just planted some little potatoes that had, them roots going out. I've just planted them in the bag. Oh my word, the bag is just full of potatoes. So seeds. Seeds are a good idea. Yeah, look, having all the tools you need. All you need is seeds to regrow food, you know? And something for cleaning water. Iodine. All you need is like 2-3 drops in a full litre of water and it'll completely cleanse it. Now you get these cleaning fluid tablets, but you can't use them often because they're chlorinated. You're chlorinating water. I've tried them and they taste like bleach. But iodine is what they use on wounds as well. They use them they use it in operations. So you just need a few drops and it will completely cleanse that water. You know what boiling alone won't do. You might not be in a position to do boiling, but yeah, it's a breaking away of the old, dear. I really feel it is, and Spirit wants us to be prepared. You don't. There's things that you thought you needed and you don't need. The most important things are seeds and yourself. Your knowledge, being able to survive. Can you survive? Have a test. Go camping for a week. Not glamping. Go camping. Wild camping. We'll see if you can survive. Could give yourself a test. Do you know what I mean? Even just go for a couple of nights and see how you fare. See if you can make fires. See if you can forage. See if you know what to forage. Find out what you can't eat, then you know what you can eat. Because if people thinking, oh, what can I eat? If you look at that, you're going to be there forever. But if you only look at what you can't eat, that is the best guide. I've got the 7 of Suns here. The 7 of Suns. The 7 of Wands. Protection. 7 of Wands is protection. Oh, it says here, beaten by 7 bishops with heavy vine sticks by those who will take over authority. Not surprising, this card is ruled by Mars. There is a strong element of battle in the background. Living in a time when kingdoms rose and fell constantly as Europe became the extended battlefield, excuse me, of the 30 Years' War. Confirmation. Nostradamus includes many images of warfare in the Lost Book. The stark simplicity of the 7 mounds, which are the central image of this card, I'm getting hiccups, suggests that they await conquest, but there is no one powerful enough to accomplish this feat. Only the influence of Mars offers the necessary strength to accomplish the task. It says the meaning of this card are all about the successful outcome of a prolonged struggle. You have ascended the tower, scaled the mountain or climbed the hill, and there at the top you look around and all you see is yours to command. Meetings, discussions and negotiations are all important aspects of the route you have taken and equally of the route you will take in the future. The pendulum has swung high and you should make the most of the opportunity to take stock, measure the extent of your ambition and begin to set in motion all that is necessary to reach your goals. This is struggle, meetings, discussions, success, advantage over others, negotiation and profit. So, yeah, I feel like this is like, I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, I am the swift wind sweeping the country. I feel like that somebody's got the magician again. It's like, oh, you have everything within you. It's not this is not about material things. This is about someone who has learned the skills of life. Someone who can survive out there in the wild. So you probably do, I'm feeling that somebody who does probably go camping and things like that, somebody who does know how to start a fire, to cook food, you know. But yeah, somebody who's got the skills, because if you ain't got skills when we're walking through these days, you're not going to survive. We need skills to survive. You need to be able to forage. You need to be able to clean water. You need to be able to, collect seeds. You need to be able to build shelters. All these things are what are going to help you in a big way. People are so busy building up these, wooden houses, brick houses and all that. They can be just crumbled in seconds. If a mountain can be brought down low and houses, you've seen what happens that Three Little Piggies means something. That Three Little Piggy story, there's a lot more to it than that. And the big bad wolf is, well, those who know. Heavenly Spirit, Heavenly Angels, ancestors of our highest good, what messages do we have for the collective? Yeah, this is a bit of a profound and deep message, and it's not for everyone, so but I do feel like Spirit is here to help someone. I'm not sure about taking them. Both fell down, face down. Okay, I'll take this one. Oh, this one looks like a tower as well, another tower. And this is the moon. The 10 of moons. So something's over here. This is like an ending here. This is a 10 of cups. The moon is a cup. It says, the tree has so long been dried up, dead. In one night will become verdant again. Yeah, things that... The tree which so long, yeah. So I feel like it says the image here is of a tower again. It says perhaps the one shown in the burning tower. So it looks very similar. It looks very similar to the burning tower. So I'm feeling like it's got some kind of relevance to it. It's all connected. And I'm seeing the moon phases here. So it's something connected to the moon phases as well. The suggestion is that even such an apparently solid and four-squared edifice may still be brought down. Yeah, so whatever, and it gives me government vibes. It really does. It really gives me them kind of vibes. It's like, yeah, they might feel like they're strong. They might feel like they've got the armies, yeah. But Spirit can bring it to naught. Just like that. Done. It says, on a closer examination, it is notable that both the doors and windows are blocked. Yeah. Implying that the outer show of strength may hide a darker reality, that this great building is actually a prison. Yes, because this is often seen as the card of home. It may also be seen as a refuge. Yeah, this is like, the government give us a false sense of security, saying, oh, yeah, you'll follow us, you'll be okay with us, but all they want is your money. Money, 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 money. It's great. It's like, no, honestly, tax is theft. It really is. That's even a slang word on the street. You say, oh, being taxed. I'm going to tax you. Oh, you've just been taxed. It means it's just been robbed. It says, you may regard your dwelling, your city, your town or village as the centre of the universe, and those who live within it as your tribe. Your dreams find a home here too, and you are borne up by waves of delight, passion and contentment. But you should be careful of becoming overwhelmed or your ego inflated by the attention of others. Yeah, so sometimes people the egos can be inflated, like they get this self sense of importance, yeah, on this ego. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, and also like they never leave their hometown. I kind of get that as well, like people who stay in their hometown because that's where they're known, because you go somewhere else and nobody knows you, you're a nobody. And that's why people stick to their own town, because that's where people know them. I prefer to be a nobody. I prefer to go somewhere and not be known. It's so much easier, so much better, It says home, country, public honour, welfare, security, contentment and people. So I feel like this is someone who likes to be at home, someone who does not leave their hometown. you know, take it as it resonates. You know, someone who's stuck somewhere because oh, got a card here facing the other way. The astronomer. Oh, spirit. Now I feel spirit must want me to see this because I've seen it. And we've got the temperance angel here. The astronomer. 13 of spheres. Now I think the astronomer is I don't know if it's the queen. I think it's the queen. Or it could be the king actually. Because the astrologer is the yeah. Oh no, is the astrologer, it might be the knight. No. Yeah, the astronomer is the astrologer is the knight of spheres. It's like the Knight of Pentacles, something very solid here. So great will grow that astronomical crew that hunted and banished their books will be censored. Oh, that is so true. I feel like we get censored all the time. Remember, I mean, I'm not on Facebook anymore, fake book. But yeah, remember when there's, what were they called? It's like when and you were telling the truth and you were getting censored. What was it called? The fact checkers. Oh, it's been fact checked. Fucking fact checked my ass. and it's like it was. Oh no, that is not even this card that I'm reading, but it must have meant that must have meant to come out because that's the night. This is the astronomer, so this is like the queen. Putting chains at the end of an arch cable in the year when Mars, Venus, Sun appear in summer. Ooh. So this could be happening this year when Mars, Venus, and the Sun appear at the same time in the sky in the summer. It's the queen, yeah. It's the queen of spheres. She is one of the earliest known women to practice a scientific discipline. The daughter of the mathematician Theon of Alexandria. Oh, she's regarded as one of the most forward-looking thinkers of her time. Oh, this drew her attention to the early Christian sect, and in the end, denounced by the Bishop of Alexandria, she was dragged naked through the streets by a rapacious mob, flayed alive and burned. And she was actually really a good woman. She was a forward thinker. It kind of gives me, when they did that when they burned all the witches at the stake on that, and also who came into town on a white horse, was it naked? So it kind of gives me that kind of vibe, that kind of story. I think it was from Coventry. What was the name? Can't even remember now, but you know what I mean. Oh, if you don't, then you don't. But Godiva, was it? They called her Godiva, something like that. It says the astronomer of spheres can be a powerful champion or a difficult partner, depending on the circumstances. She is at times seen as an aspect of the inner personality which likes to be generous and supportive in all walks of life. Whether this is by throwing an extravagant party or looking after a patient in hospital. As a mother or a wife, the Queen only wants the best for her partner or her children, which may make her overprotective. A bold, noble-hearted woman, generosity, confidence, self-assurance, sincerity, prosperousness, and liberal-mindedness. Yes, this queen here. And I feel like this with a temperance angel, that this is someone like got, kind of earth angel energy. Oh, I can hear a low flying. I just heard like a thunder. I don't know if that was thunder. Or a plane, like a low flying plane. Something's coming. Something's coming. Yeah, I'm feeling very, very strong feminine energy here. You can switch the roles. A man can have a feminine energy. If you're too masculine, you need to be a bit more in tune with your yin. And if you're too feminine, you need to have some yang, you know what I mean? You can't be an helpless maiden. I don't feel like this is an helpless maiden here. I feel like this is someone very, like, you know, I see myself as, I'm very overprotective. Oh, I am. The things I've done in my past to protect my kids, you know, confronted people, even in my bare feet, my pajamas. Usually I get caught off guard, me, and I don't like it. Barefooted, pajamas, and I'm still there. I will run into battle barefooted, me. I would. I would run into battle bare naked to protect my own. And probably others as well. If I seen something going on, you know, I can't turn the other cheek, me, really can't. Especially if I see somebody getting hurt by someone else, you know, I'm not going to stand there and video it and watch. I'm going to pick someone up and whack them with it. Yeah, that's what kind of warrior I am. And I feel like this is what kind of warrior this person is as well. Whoever this is reading is for, you know, it's a collective reading. It could be just, you know, a worldly one, but I feel like this with this, I feel a lot of feminine energy. This is what I'm saying. We've got the 9 of Spheres. This is the 9 of Pentacles. This is somebody independent. I feel like this is a woman who's on her own here, or a man. Take it as it resonates. You know, with the 9 of Pentacles coming out with her, I feel like, yeah, there's a strong singular energy. You know, somebody who's not actually with a partner, but, you know, I feel like a kind of ride or die kind of person. But sometimes that can be to your own detriment. I knew somebody who was a ride or die and she died. So, you know, you got to be careful who you're riding or dying for. Yeah, she was somebody ride or die and he killed her. So, you know, yeah, a bit of, But look at these 2 cards. Both facing each other and they both got their hand out. This could be something coming together of somebody here, because I feel like this is somebody in pink, this is a woman, and this is a man. The 9 of Spheres. The Great One will be the captain of the world. No other will be more loved, proclaimed, or so feared. Excuse me. Confirmation. It says this is a card of fruition, of reaching a good and a happy conclusion. All the work you've put in finally pays off. Your life is happy, balanced, and productive. Spiritually, this card suggests you've reached a place of maturity and that your deepest desires are fulfilled. Achievement, consequence, maturity, realization, and contentment. It says here, it represents an obvious change in the celestial sphere, which was supposed to be unchanging. So I feel like something's going to happen me. Something's going to happen, a change, and it could be this 3 days of darkness. You know, who knows? But they are blocking out the sun. Clearly, I see them spraying them chemtrails. I've been taking photos of them for years. You know, I think it's on my other Facebook page, that Be Love. There's a lot of videos on there that do show the chemtrails, what they were doing, and then the aftermath. Like now, cannot see the sky; it just looks white, blacked out. But I feel like this could be somebody just facing the reflection of each other. But I feel there's 2 people here looking towards each other. You know, there's an hand out and something like an understanding of something coming from somewhere. I just seen the death card and an apprentice, so I feel like something is over and somebody's starting something new. You could be, you know, walking into spirituality. You know, it could be like leaving the old ways behind. Having your eyes opened. Your eyes could have been opened. Your mind could have been opened. Your third eye could have been awakened. activated. And if you're not, then a lot of people will not understand this. But sometimes even watching a reading can activate you. Sometimes just getting a deck. Sometimes just to listen to a certain song, just listening, or even if a stranger passing by could say something and you could hear it and it could activate you. There's all different ways people can be activated. You can be activated by the sun. You can be activated by the water. You know, you can be activated by listening to frequency music. Don't be listening to this pop music. Oh my word, it's demonic. It really is. Very low vibrational. And looking at all these people, you know, but this music, where they call it trance music, yeah, it puts people in a trance. But sometimes people in a state of trance can have the most profound, like awakenings, you know. I feel like a lot of the things that they put out there to destroy people has actually woke people up. It's done the opposite. The Ace of Stars. This is a wow. Look, it looks like the Ace of Swords, but the stars. It is the stars. It's the Ace of Stars. It's the Ace of Swords. So we've got the Trophy, the Ace of Swords, and then we've got the Abyss. This is like you get an abbot. This is an abyss. Female, something, you know. Ooh, yay! The Ace of Stars. Ignorant jealousy is upheld before the great king. He will propose a defence of the writings. It says the earliest tarot masters identified the sword either that with the biblical King David or the Archangel Michael. It later turns up in the Grail myths as a sword wielded by Galahad, the Grail winner, who finds it aboard the mystical ship of Solomon. Oh, it says it represents truth and justice to burn away all the untruths. In the image of the lost book, a hand holds a sword, which is surmounted by the 8-spoked wheel and draped with a scroll, suggesting that its fiery and piercing rays are always present in our lives and that knowledge yet waits to be written on the scroll. You see, writing things down, you know, I am a writer. I write things down, but mostly I write it in rhyme because it's easier for people to remember. You know, if you write rhymes, look at all these nursery rhymes. There's always a deeper meaning behind all these nursery rhymes, and if you look into it, you really see the deeper meaning of what these nursery rhymes mean. You know, it's easier for somebody to remember in a rhyme. You know, it's like even at school when they're teaching you, trying to teach you words to remember, they'll say it in like a little proverb or a little rhyme. You know, that I feel that's why where we've got so many proverbs and psalms, because it's easier to remember. You know, a lot easier to remember. So maybe this might be something like this, writing something down, because we've got the Abyss, and I'm sure she's the Abyss. What is it, of stars? The Queen? Is it the star? Oh, I'm sure she's like the Queen of Stars or something like that. Or it could be even the King. It's represented as a man here. Yeah, I think like this is the Queen of Swords. So we've got the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords directly together, came out together. The lady is greatly afflicted by death, mother and guardian to a departed bloodline. In the Court of Stars, the Abyss is queen. Nostradamus' universal vision is embodied by Abbess Hildegard of Bingen. In her time, 1098 to 1179, she was a teacher, a musician, a composer, an artist and an expert doctor and herbalist, as well as a visionary whose perception equalled that of Nostradamus himself. He may well have known her writings. Born to a noble family, she was the youngest of 10 children and was sickly from birth. Around the age of 14, she was given to the church and became a cloistered nun. She received visions from an early age, which made her famous. By the time she was 40, she had begun to write books. She also painted extraordinary images to accompany her words, depicting herself as a figure clothed in flames, a symbol of her radiant connection with God. Her music, radiant as her word, is filled with light, making her a very appropriate figure to represent the Queen of Stars. The Abbess of Stars looks down at us from the starry vault. She can be a stern judge and a fierce critic, but her wisdom shines through everything she says or does, and as such she is shrewd and perceptive ally on the journey through life. Her presence in a reading causes us to take stock of where we are and what we truly desire. Whatever we think we have asked, there may be a deeper meaning beneath the more superficial question. A mature and perceptive woman. Visionary gifts, perception, subtlety, quickness, accuracy, grace, and wisdom. So I'm getting very strong female energy again. Like I said, a very strong feminine energy. Someone who could be a writer, somebody who could be like, a painter, but something like that, someone who's got a gift. And it has been coming up a lot in the readings, but I do want to look at the Akashic. We've got the King of Scrolls here, right at the bottom. Writer. Could be male, you see, male or female. It's like, I just feel like a lot of yin energy. This is a writer. Somebody who needs to write. Maybe you need to write stuff. Somebody who's taking stock of what's happening in the world now. Look at this lightning bolt. It could be lightning. Lightning could strike. It struck that bleeds card, didn't it? Did anybody see it? But this lightning bolt is striking a tree here. Somebody might get a lightning bolt. It's like a download, like an epiphany. The King of Forces. The King of Forces gives me someone very connected to nature. Someone who's in tune with nature. Someone who's very spiritual as well. He's got a wolf, a rabbit, and a stag here, there, all together. It's like, yeah, they're someone who's very, wild and free and spiritual. Somebody very connected to the nature side of life. Yeah, there's somebody probably who's going to be a writer or who does write. Take it as it resonates. We need people need to know in the future of what is happening now. All this stuff that we've been through from day one, what this government has done, and the covering of things, like the covered up, the Tartarian, that bit, it's still there if you look closely enough. It's still there. You have to know. You have to have them eyes to see. They keep destroying these buildings, but there's so much that's underground that it's unreal. You see, even that mountain that has covered all that village. That village is underground. I don't feel like they're going to be able to get that rubble, take all that rubble off that mountain. It's never going to be safe again. That it's never going to be safe again. I feel like it's not over. It's not finished. They say there's one person missing. Maybe they refused to leave their home. Maybe they refused. I do know there were some people trapped in an hotel. Hopefully they've got them out of there. But yeah, don't be one of these heroes. Like if someone says evacuate, do that. That's why you need a go bag. Get a rucksack and put everything in that go bag that you think that you will need to survive. Not silly things. Imagine this is how you've got to get your bag ready. You imagine that say, like for instance, that mountain fell on that village. So imagine that everything was going to be destroyed. Your home was going to be destroyed. Yeah. What are you going to need? You're not going to need silly things. You know, you're going to need things that are really important to survive. Everything else, all sentimentality will go out the window. And I'm a sentimental person, but you know, at the end of the day, I'll be my animals, my kids, you know, my grandkids, the most important things to me. And then obviously the go bag with things that are able to survive if we were out there in the wilderness, you know, without any government, you know, things that we're going to need to be able to make fire, clean water, seeds, you know, eat blankets to keep you warm, stuff like that, you know, essentials, freeze dried food, you know, stuff like that, stuff that's easy to carry, weapons even, you know, just whatever you need to be able to survive. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just, you know, better to be prepared. Failure to prepare is preparing. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. The path unknown, and it came out in reverse, but I don't think these cards are reversed. But it's a path unknown here, yeah. It's someone walking down a path that, it's like walking down that path that it's like taking the new leap, you know. A path unknown is going somewhere where you've never been before. And I've just put it on the Queen of Scrolls here, and it says intricacies and industry. This is an old building, you know. It could be like discovering something. Oh, what that came out, and it's saying summer and winter. That was in reverse, so that would have been summer winter. But we've come out of winter. But the path's unknown, so it says woodland animals gather around a woman who stands in a small clearing in the forest. The fork before her breaks into 3 separate paths. The middle is clear and bright. The left is much darker with more trees and growth. And the right is dappled by sunlight with a few shadows falling here and there across it. This card reveals that you've been traveling on a path that's known to you, and it shows you the way to the expected outcomes, but there are 2 other paths that aren't as clear. Remember, if you stay with only the known and seemingly safe, you won't catch the unseen opportunities that come your way. Some options may be unexpected and perhaps a little risky. Don't be so attached to your agenda that you miss them. Happily, during this phase, you can investigate unknown paths and make the decisions that lie before you with confidence. You are flexible and brave enough to step into the shadows. Stay alert. Extraordinary opportunities abound in the least expected places. Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, someone needs to be on the alert here. I feel like, yeah, I'm get out of the comfort zone. Somebody getting out of that comfort zone. Somebody might feel like, you know, oh, I feel safe here, not doing anything, I'm safe. No, this is someone who needs to get out of that comfort zone. Probably may go camping or something like that. Yeah, I just seen the karmic trench. Somebody needs to get out of it. You know, getting out of that. It could be stuck somewhere and it's like, no, I need to get out of this trench here. You might feel safe there, but it's not the way to go. Oh, the initiation of the Count Saint Germain. So this is why that somebody needs to get out of this. It's like somebody's on a mission here. You are on a mission. There's initiation here. Standing among the pillars within a beautiful temple, the ascended master, Count Saint Germain, sends his light and energy to the 4 robed people who stand before him. It is time for their initiation. This card represents your initiation. It is much more than a change or even a transformation. It's nothing less than your movement into higher revelations of power, insight, and achievement. And the time is now. Some loss of lower vibration relationships, jobs, or activities may be required in order to lift you to the new heights and the power that await you. Your initiation can be aided by meditation and study, as well as by connecting to the ascended masters with whom you have worked for centuries upon centuries. Know that you have shared purposes and activities with the masters, even if you aren't certain of what they are yet.
The disciplines you create now during your initiation and the work you do with the masters will lift your service to the world and to all humankind. This is a time of enormous uplifting, first in your energy and evolution, then in your manifest outer reality. The power that you hold within will impact every part of your life. Just close your eyes and see yourself. It actually does do a reverse. It actually does do a reverse. So that did come out in reverse, and I didn't read it in reverse. Oh well, I think it's meant to be anyway. It's meant to be. Yeah, it says close your eyes and see yourself on the path of your initiation with the Count Saint Germain beside you. Feel your energy and receptivity heighten as your vibration quickens, realizing there are no limits or hindrances. What's next for you? I just want to look at the reverse of meaning of that card because I did see it come out in reverse. What are we on? Scrolls. Eight of Scrolls. I just want to look because, you know. I'm reading the wrong one. I'm going to read it anyway because I did see it come out in reverse. You may find yourself very undecided and hesitant to move in any direction when this card is reversed. It's not only time to look into the dark, but also a time for looking backward. The path on your left is partially illuminated by the sun and calls you to investigate it. It leads to a past or past life, relationship, talent, or experience. If you look into this history and go back to resolve the issue or reconnect with the past person, occupation, or deed, you will open the way to future success and your decisions will become clearer. No matter the reason why you're hesitant, challenge yourself now to break free from fear and inertia. It's amazing how many unexpected opportunities can pop into your future when you look behind you and how much you can bring to light, when you step into the dark. It says, regardless of whether this card is in the upright or reverse, the paths can give you more insight about the neighbouring cards to reveal how your past and future coverage in the present. The path that goes to the left will take you to an adjacent card that shows you how past life is influencing you today. The right-facing path will take you to an adjacent card that shows influences on your future endeavours or relationships. This is initiation. This is somebody who's being called. This is someone who has an important place in the world. We've got the Queen of Keys with the light of the world here. I feel like somebody is a light. Yeah, and we've got the Buddha prepared. So I feel like somebody needs to do this, go into this meditation. Someone has a calling on their life here. And it's somebody, the truth, the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. It's like maybe this kind of gives me this, someone's calling this Queen. It's like, come on, we're here. We're calling you. We're here. This is somebody, he's got a wing on his, the Akashic field, look. The Aurora Borealis, I can't even say it. Borealis, whatever. Yeah, the Akashic field. Yeah, there's something here, an ancestor calling. Look, we've got the Ascent with the Seven of Keys. I feel like somebody's climbing, somebody is being called to something very important, and very important that came out in reverse. Loving elementals, the Three of Roses. It came out over here as well with this. It came out on top of this tower. And you know what? I've hardly ever get these cards in reverse. But I know there's a meaning. The Three of Roses in reverse. This card reveals a serious split from the fun-loving child within, from your own spirit, and from your union with the natural world. It's also a time when you seem to have lost your enthusiasm for life. Try not to take things too seriously. It's important to find a joyful person. Oh, oh, I didn't mean to say that. But yeah, there's no accidents in tarot. So you might need to find a joyful person, a joyful purpose, something that truly makes your heart sing. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. So yeah, you might need to find somebody, who makes your heart sing. He says, meditate more, do the things that make you happy, and open your heart to your own radiant self and to the dancing, happy beings who are only a breath away. Close your eyes and feel the air buzz with the flight and dance of elementals all around you. Feel yourself smile in the happy lightness of being they bring. Every time you take a moment to do this, you open your heart to joy. Yeah, put the music on and dance. Put the music on and dance. It's so freeing, is dancing. Oh, look at this. I've got the Queen of Forces here. Oh, yeah, I'm getting very yin yang energy here. The balancing of it. I feel a strong energy. We got the birth here. Look. Oh, it says Beth. It's like my name, Beth. So there's something happening here. This is somebody. I feel like somebody is awakening. I just split it on the Queen of Forces again. Heavenly Spirit, Heavenly Angels. The Willow. And we've got this wisdom of mind, and the ascent peeping out here, and the divine physician. Wow. Spirit. Strong, powerful energy. Whoever this reading is for, I feel like it will resonate. You'll know. The Two of Forces. A big, beautiful willow tree stands in the summer sun. This stately tree is strong and flexible. And this card upright is telling you that you are too. The willow spreads its roots deep and wide, creating a strong foundation that is capable of standing up to anything. Now is a time for you to stand tall and feel the support of the earth beneath your feet. This card indicates a time of calm, so enjoy the peaceful energy now. It also signifies a time of power, perfect for reinforcing your foundation in your work, in your family, in your spirit, and in the depth of your belief in yourself. Just like the willow, you have a peaceful strength, drawn from the waters of your soul and extending through all eternity. Stand confidently in your truth. Take the actions that support the growth of all things wonderful in your life and know that you are powerful. See, Spirit confirming that I told you that this person, whoever this reading is for, has got a very powerful energy. It says, take a deep breath and feel yourself plant energetic roots through the bottom of your feet, moving down to the very depths of the earth and tapping the resources you need. Notice the strength you feel rising up from this profound source of energy. Yeah, I really get this. We've got a very strong energy here. And I just seen the King of Forces again. Heavenly Spirit, Heavenly Angels, ancestors of our highest good. What messages will we have for the collective? Anything else, Heavenly Spirit? Too many, Spirit, thank you. Too many. Can we just have one card, please, Spirit? One card for the collective. Thank you. The birth. So, we already seen this. Number 4. Birth. It's like that being born again. I feel like somebody's rising up here. Somebody's waking up. Somebody's being activated. It says the sun shines upon a plain in England, where stands an ancient enge in the distance and a grove of birch trees nearby. Upon many of the trees is carved the old Celtic Ogham letter, birth, which represents the birch tree and stands for birth. A beautiful woman walks forward carrying a basket while 2 children run happily towards her. With this card, it's time for a new start. perhaps a natural birth or at least a metaphorical one. An old phase is passing away and a new one begins. But even this new beginning has its roots in your deepest histories and your past lives. There may be some labour involved, but it's labour that bears fruit. This card is associated with fertility, sensuality, and motherhood. There may be new energy in a romance, the family, or the home. You could be giving birth to a creative project too, whatever it is. Celebrate. Prepare for the wonderful growth and opportunities that are about to come. Close your eyes and imagine yourself stepping into the proverbial pregnant moment. Feel the creative forces popping and sparking within and around you. What would you like to create with this energy? What would you like to create with this energy? So I feel like there's someone. Oh, we've got Father God here, radical truth, spirit. Yeah, being honest, because if you be honest with yourself, that's all you need. We've got poetic justice here, the judge. Poetic justice. Yeah, I feel like somebody could be poetic as well, But poetic justice is it's even a film. I think there's a film called that as well. I just think the martyr, self-reflection, that the judge is here. Something's poetic justice, and I feel like it could be you standing in your power. Could have been someone that's actually tried to destroy you, and what it did was, it might have caused a tower. You might have been brought down so low that the only way was up, and it's like that it had to happen for this birth, this rebirth. It had to happen. This is initiation. It's like you passed the test. Whatever it was, you came through it. Ancestors' message. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, there's something about water here. It says the altar of water and the creature of water. So love overflowing and creative expression here. Love overflowing. Water energy. Could be a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, take that. Is that water sign? No. Yeah, Pisces. Of course it is. Where's my mind going? Yeah, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So this is an ancestor message, altar of water. So you might have water on your altar. I do. I always put fresh, clean water, wash the glass, clean the glass, fill it up with fresh water. Sometimes I'll put juice on there. Sometimes I even put alcohol. It depends, on really what's being asked at that time. Divine love, romantic love, communal love, every kind of love is pouring through you. This is the beginning of something beautiful. Make way for the joy of new love. This new relationship can be a friendship or a new suitor. It could even be a career partnership that you love, or even a renewed love for an already existing person or situation in life. Either way, you are worthy and deserving of this magnificent new blessing. The water ancestors represent emotions. Allow the seeds of joy to blossom. With the energy of boundless love, what can you give back to your community? The ancestral memory. Sweet water mother, the Orisha Ocean, comes forward to teach us the holy blessing of libation, an ancient prayer practice. Pouring libations is a key traditional way to honour ancestors in many cultures and countries throughout Africa. Ancestral medicine. Libation is an act of love. Pour libations for your ancestors. Something new is being born. Every birth expands and evolves your lineage. Most use blessed water or alcohol to pour libations from a glass, calabash, or bowl. Libations in some cultures can also be poured in reverence with rice or even tea. This corresponds with the Ace of Cups, and it says the declaration is, I trust the guidance of my heart. So you could be guiding towards, giving the water to your ancestors, or you see some people even when they have a beer and they pour it onto the ground or pour it in the sink. It's like, that's for so and so. I've done that. I do that, But I don't drink alcohol anymore. I gave that up. I don't really want to. I do like my stout, but I think no. I just no. It's very low vibrational. Is alcohol. You see what people do with it. do on it. They become possessed and become somebody that they get taken over. The spirit is taken over by spirits, other spirits, demonic spirits, low vibrational spirits, and they act in ways that they wouldn't if they wasn't drunk. But I watched this thing, and it was this man, and he was drunk, and he killed his wife, and he just couldn't remember anything. And obviously he did it when he was drunk, and he had to go to prison, but he could not remember. It was blank. So don't get drunk. That is a warning there. Creature of water. Creative expression. Creative energy is all around you. Use your imagination to get unstuck. Follow your inspirations and allow your emotions to fuel your pursuits. Romantic or creative, your art energy is blossoming. This is a time of heightened creativity with a potential for breakthroughs. This idealistic and compassionate animal spirit ancestor, coming forward can be a good thing if there is something or someone you've been waiting for. But moving too fast can lead to recklessness. Pace yourself. You are obsessed and seeking fulfillment. You have the potential to get sloppy. Hasty decision making can block your flow. The ancestral memory. The creature of water is the Awaken animal spirit, the Sankofa Erin bird. They come forward with the lucky energy of the Ghanaian goddess of the harvest, Asase Afua. Sankofa, and if I read that wrong, I apologise, means we must go back to get it. Sankofa here is the animal spirit that connects the past, the present, and the future. The medicine, ancestral medicine, take time to experience. Creature of water saves us from ourselves with fairy tale knights in shining armour, energy saving the damsel in distress. Are you moving too fast to reap the benefits of your blessings? My child, how can you go back and reap your harvest? This is corresponding with the Knight of Cups, and it says, I am a creative force. So this is someone who is a creative force here. And there's something speeding up. I've got this highly sensitive here. Somebody could be highly sensitive, but the poetic justice is here. This is something about poetic justice. It could be meeting someone new, could be just you meeting you new, or who you used to be. I'm going to have a look in the Shaman Oracle. We've got the companion here as well. Somebody could be meeting a companion. Take it as it resonates, but this is from to see what anything else the spirit has got to say, and the ancestors for the collective, and messages. Ancestor of skill. We've got the ancestor of skill. I'm going to pull the cards and then I'm going to read them all at once. Ancestor of skill, the dancer of friendship, the shaman of tradition, and the shaman of courage, and the spirit of empowerment. The ancestor of skill. I am the ancestor of skill. I will teach you how to find a sense of balance and wisdom. I'll start again. I said pause it there. I am the ancestor of skill. I teach you how to find a sense of balance and wisdom, and how to challenge it into whatever task you undertake. I can enable you to uncover the skills latent within you that will imbue you with positive energy. I stand for the artistry of life itself and can teach you how best to access the single most important skill of all, knowing the art of living. The artful and versatile soul can always find a way, no matter how wide or deep the chasm ahead. Many cave images depict ancestral figures that are part human and part animal. We was talking about that. Symbolising the fundamental connection between them. Skills can be learned through observation, but this need not be limited to observing humans. Here is the ancestor of skill appears as a hybrid of a deer and a person, expressing how important it is to blur the edges of common perception and seek skills from unusual, even unlikely sources. Crucially, we must look within ourselves to harness the abilities we already possess but have not yet discovered. These are often the most enriching. Interpretation, skillful progress, recognizing your abilities, understanding the process of daily living, living skillfully, dancing where others run, finding joy in the skill that you already possess. And then we've got the dancer of friendship here. So it could be something to do with a friend, you know. I am the dancer of friendship. I extend my arms to embrace everything I see that holds goodwill toward me. I dance in the moment of delight and strengthen the intentions and desires of those who accept me. I hold up a mirror to all things and can bring you into the presence of a balanced life. If you lack the companionship of friends, I can help you find it. Once you have danced with me, you are no longer alone, but walk with others at your side, no matter what trials or adversities you meet with. Without friends, the most basic of human needs is not being satisfied. Although we come into the world alone and leave it the same way, the time we spend on earth should be one of partnerships, constantly unfolding. Friendships are an essential part of this, including family, lovers, and the people who establish themselves as part of our lives and remain so for years. The dancer of friendship reminds us that allies, both spiritual and human, surround us at every moment. We have only to reach out to encounter them. With friends, we are supported, nurtured, and strengthened in our journey. Interpretations, strength in unity, fellow journeyers, allies, new directions, advice and trust, community, companionship, like-mindedness, and honesty. So yeah, this could be a meaning of, friendship or a new friend coming in, or, you know, the shaman of tradition. Shaman. I am the shaman of tradition. I bury into the deepest memories of the land to uncover truth and bring it to the surface, flame lit by the consciousness of all who love life. No matter what you are seeking, I can find a tradition that matches your dreams and aspirations. I stand before you, holding aloft the energies of the inner worlds and bringing these forces to bear upon everything you set out to accomplish. Tradition underpins so much of our lives, yet we are often cavalier with it. A tradition can be anything from an ancient ritual, such as midwinter fires or dancing around the maypole. Whoever remembers that? I do at school. They don't do it anymore, do they? To the morning routines that prepare you for the day ahead. Either way, it is part of the fabric of what makes us human. The shaman of tradition draws us on the deep-rooted customs of the land and uses them to fuel our spiritual quest for knowledge. This shaman reminds us that we should never ignore tradition, which is often a vehicle for ancestral wisdom and can offer us vital clues about who we are. Interpretations, valuing established patterns, acknowledging the past, acceptance of the shaping power of tradition, deep memory, reassessing paths, recognizing traditions in daily living. And then we've got the shaman of courage. I am the shaman of courage. Whenever and wherever you need me, I will be there to help you discover the resources that lie within you. Do you know what song was coming in my head then? Dancing wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance steady, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance steady. Dancing wherever you may be. And it kind of gives me the vibes of the maypole as well, dancing around the maypole. I don't know if that resonates with someone. But yeah, the shaman of courage. It says, I will be there to help you to discover resources that lie within you, resources you may not know you possess. And I'm here to support you in times of need. when challenges become overwhelming, when strength is required to make even an inch of progress along the way. I journey into fear and at its heart find courage to overwhelm it. This courage I impart to you, and I will guide and protect you if ever you are in danger. The shaman of courage is one of the fundamental resources of life. The courage is one of the fundamental resources of life, and without it, we become to a standstill, physically and mentally. Often it takes great fortitude for us to travel towards our goal, for inevitably we will encounter hardships along the way. Yet we can all summon up from deep inside ourselves the courage we need, however much we may doubt it. While this is most true of those who find themselves in extremes of stress, conflict, or anger, it is also true of those who face a purely inward challenge. The shaman of courage knows where we can find the inner resources we never knew we had. Interpretations, finding the courage to advance, understanding loss of power, recovering lost strength, facing danger, maintaining calm, and transforming fear into power. And then we've got the spirit of empowerment straight after. You see how spirit works. You see how spirit works. This is somebody's awakened, or they're probably already awakened, and the ancestors are here to, empower somebody, to let somebody, give them courage and hope and everything, There's something that it's like going through this test, or you've passed this test, or, there's something here. I am the spirit of empowerment. I hold you in the palm of my hand and fill you with the determination and drive that allow you to successfully accomplish any tasks you undertake and overcome any obstacle that stands in your way. I bring you the energizing emotion of a deep-seated self-belief which will transform and strengthen you in every aspect of life. Empowerment is the receipt and assumption of power, and with it comes a fortified belief in our own capabilities. This power, once transferred, will fuel and drive our actions, from the simplest domestic task to the highest level of personal endeavour. To be disempowered is to feel weak and drained, and it is a reflection of modern life that we can so often feel this way. The spirit of empowerment ignites vital energy within us, charging our minds with the tenacity and determination to succeed in all that we do, and making us believe that any achievement lies within our grasp. Interpretations, feelings of strength, positive energy, life-giving force, heightened awareness, belief in the self-restored, enlightenment, a sense of becoming, and being true to yourself. And this reading has gone on so long, and I do apologise, but I really feel like that these messages had to get out there for someone. I feel like, there's messages here for someone. So if you've lasted this long, then maybe this message is for you. But I'm going to leave this reading here. So whether it resonates or whether it doesn't, we can all take something from this reading. I know I will. But yes, I hope everyone has an absolutely thrilling Thursday. Take care. God bless. I love you all, and I will see you soon.